Hello artists! Today we are making this beautiful paper plant. This is called a polka dot pink plant, but you can make yours however you'd like. We're going to be going over everything you need to make this gorgeous plant right here. And if you want to make it even fuller, a different color, maybe add vines, leaves, whatever you want, you totally can. So hopefully from your art kit, you have picked up that art kit from the recreation center. And you have everything, including this clay pot, all the paper, the wire, and the tape. And you do need a water cut from your house, either old scissors that you don't really care about anymore, or actual wire cutters, okay? We are going to be painting, we're going to be constructing, we are going to be making beautiful plants. So I hope you guys are really excited for this course because we have 4 projects and we're going to just keep adding and adding and adding to our containers. So let's go right on over to our setup and start making these gorgeous leaves. Here's my little setup. Here's the art kit that hopefully all of you have already gotten from the K-Rec Center. You're just going to grab this little bag right here that said made just for you. Take everything out pretty carefully. You have a little container for your plant and you have this dry foam. Take those 2 things out, then take out your filler rocks. You can just put your little art kit away. First thing you want to do, we're going to be making 4 different plants, so we have to cut our foam into 4. Grab some scissors. Any scissors will do. These are really easy to cut. It's really satisfying to cut. Cut it right in half. Boop. And then in half again. How fun is that? So I've only given you 1 container. If you want to use 4 different ones for all 4 of your plants, you totally can. But I'm going to put all of my plants into this 1 container, kind of make a mixed planter situation. But feel free to use your own container. That could be the fun part. I'm going to put my little floral foam right in there. You can do 2. I wouldn't do more than that though. Then open up your rocks. And fill your container. Throw your foam in there. And then fill up around your foam. Until it's almost completely filled all around your foam. Boop, 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 boop. Use the rest of your rocks to go right on top of it after we stick our wire in. What you can do after that is just place your foam back in with your filler. And then this is all just kind of made of a styrofoam foam. Just brush it into your hand and throw that all away. Put that to the side and go back into the rest of your art kit, and we're going to start actually making the leaves. In your art kit, you're going to find one of these white plasticky papers. This is just double-sided adhesive or glue. You're going to also find some pale pink paper and some magenta paper. At this point, if you want, you could paint all over these 2 pieces of paper. You can mark it up with stamps or just make it a really, really pretty paper. You do not have to keep it as plain as I'm making this, but I'm just going to show you the very basic way to make these leaves, and then you can kind of make it your own. You can make it as artistic and creative as possible. Now with these smaller leaves of the pink polka dot plant, what you want to do is you want to cut in half your double-sided adhesive paper, your pale pink paper, and your magenta paper. So to get a perfectly in half piece of paper, I think we all know, you fold it in half and then you cut along the fold. After you cut everything in half, grab that double-sided sheet, your two pale pieces of paper, pale pink piece of paper, put the other ones away. Now either with some scissors you don't really care about if they stay sharp, or with an actual wire cutter, you're going to cut some wire. You want about 1.5 inches of wire. This is just going to be the smaller stems that attach to a larger stem later. So just cut about 9 pieces of wire. And we're going to be sticking these in between. All right, we have our wire, we have our paper, and we have our sticky double-sided tape. So these are huge sheets of double-sided tape. In the middle is just that adhesive. What you're gonna do is just like peeling a sticker, take off one side of the white paper, and it can be really tricky, so try your best, just like a really weird sticker. All right, feel which side is sticky. We got that. Very carefully line it up. Sticky side down. Rub it on, make it a little bit warm with your hands. And then take that off. It will leave a nice sticky residue. At this point, you can add your stems right on top of it. You want to go about halfway down your stem. And you're going to stagger these guys, making sure that there will be enough room to actually make a leaf. So we're going to be cutting out these leaves later. Make sure they're really nice and stuck in there. Maybe you can put in a few baby leaves. Like I feel like I could do a small leaf right here. Another small leaf right here. Because we want different sizes. So obviously this is pushed out more, so you will be able to cut out a smaller leaf. This is pushed in more, so you'll have a bigger leaf. Once you've got them all laid down, you're going to line up your other piece of very pale pink. Line that up. Press it right down. And you're going to want to do the best job of using this meaty part of your hand and rubbing into that piece of paper. Really rub, 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 rub. You want to be able to completely see that wire. Once you can completely see the wire on every single little leaf, you really want to rub, rub, rub. Then you want to flip it over, do the same exact thing on the other side until you can see the outlines of all those wires. Once you have this step done, you're going to think, what shape is a polka dot pink leaf? So I'm just going to grab a pencil and I'm just going to think, okay, leaves start out kind of like an almond shape. You're not going to have to draw it every time. Almond shape, they're pretty symmetrical on both sides. Okay, that's a pretty good leaf right there. Once you're really happy with your leaf, you want to cut them out. Boop. And then there we have a nice little leaf. Really pinch it when you're done cutting it out if you want to erase any of your pencil lines. This is a very nice outline of one of our leaves. Now we're going to do that, but without drawing them all. We're just going to cut out each individual leaf from our pink paper. Once you have all of those all set and cut out, so they look like little feathers right now. Making sure that they're still all burnished down, all stuck together really nicely. You're going to do these same exact steps, just with your bright magenta paper, okay? Let's do that really quick, and then we can talk about painting and drawing on these pink polka dot leaves. Whew, okay. Now you have all of your teeny tiny little leaves. I know it's a really repetitive process, but it is so worth it in the long run. Now for the really fun part is when we get to paint these little guys. I hope everybody is prepared to do a little bit of splatter paint. It is pretty fun. So to get your station all ready for your painting is make sure you have something on your table or on the floor, whatever you're working on. Go get a water cup and your gouache paints that are in your art kits. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make pink with our gouache paints. So gouache is kind of like watercolor mixed with like a chalkier paint. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a little bit of that white from the kit, teeny tiny bit. Wash your paintbrush off, a little bit of water, and get a little bit of red from our kit, because obviously white and red make pink. I think I want mine even hotter pink. This is basically the same color as this. Doo doo doo. How pretty. Now, of course, if you can't make the right color, feel free to use watercolor, acrylic paint, whatever you have laying around, but you just want kind of a pinky tone. At this point, you just want to put a little swish at the bottom of each of your leaves. A little swish. You can even draw little lines if you want. Really look over your work, see if you want to add any more layers to it. And then wash off your brush. Now we're going to do a little bit of splatter painting. Give these leaves just like a minute to dry. Then you can make a whole bunch of different kinds of greens. I'm going to make a dark green. This dark green all the way on the left of your palette. Over here. And then I'm gonna make a lighter green with this middle green in your palette. And teeniest, tiniest of white. You really do not need a lot of paint for this project. This will last you through all 4 projects. Crazy. Alright, pretty. All right, now, make sure you're wearing an old t-shirt or something that you don't really care about, because we're gonna start splatter painting. You're gonna use your thumb on the end of your brush, and you're gonna flip it backwards. Flip, 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 flip. The bigger the splatters, the more it's gonna look like that polka dot pink plant. All different directions. If you want to get really funky with it, you can even make a whole bunch of different colors. You could use purple, you could use blue. This is your plant, so you can kind of make it, you know, like you're in charge of the nature. Remember, you could do this with acrylic paint, gouache paint. Gouache paint just dries really fast, that's why we're using it here. All right, once you're done with one green, put a little bit of water in your next green and do the same thing. Now, these are obviously not completely polka dotted, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of water onto our paintbrush handle. You're going to put it into whatever paint you have left, and right along the stem of each of your leaves, you're going to add in polka dots with that darker green. In nature, things are variated, so we want variated marks, we want variated sizes of marks. Okay, beautiful. Let this all completely dry. Do the other side, and then we can put it all together. While these dry a little bit, let's learn a little bit about floral tape. Now, floral tape is made from kind of a cray paper. You have two different types of floral tape in your kit. You have one dark green and one lighter green. What you want to do is slide off this protective wrapper on your floral tape. Just snip that right off, throw that away. Now, this is your first time using floral tape. One side is cray paper and the other side is actually wax. So it won't really stick to your fingers, it won't stick to paper really well, but it will stick to each other, because wax likes to stick to wax. However, it can come off really easily. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice this floral wrapping really quickly. Essentially, the way you're going to wrap it is if you're trying to get something off of your finger. So you're going to wrap it like that, like pinching and sliding your finger. Pinch and slide. So if you were to wrap two pieces of wire together, you would first pinch two sides of floral tape together, and then to wrap it, you're sliding the floral tape together. Okay, so that's floral tape. You might have to do it a few times just to get used to it. This is the trickiest part that I found in this whole project. So in our polka dotted plant, or pink polka dotted plant, normally the pink leaves are first on the branch, and then there are the magenta leaves closer to the ground. So you're going to grab one of your dry pink leaves and place it directly on top of one of your long floral wires. Then you're going to grab your floral tape and put it right next to your leaf, fold it over, and you're gonna wrap, until you see that the floral tape is finally sticking together. Then you can do the wrapping. You're gonna go for about a ½ inch or this much, and then grab a smaller leaf. So it's gonna go big, small. You're going to place that leaf right next to where you have ended your floral tape. Wrap it as tight as possible, and then do the exact same thing. Now here's where you can maybe grab a magenta one or grab another pink one. I think I'm going to start with my magenta leaf. And I'm going to wrap and wrap and wrap, really nice and tight. And let me do another magenta leaf. Really nice and tight. You can do as many leaves as you want on one of your strands. We're going to make about 3 different strands of leaves. So I think I am almost done with this one. I'm going to wrap, 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 wrap until all of my wires are completely covered in floral tape. Right. Then I'm just going to cut off. I'm using scissors. You can use, oh, actually I have my wire cutter right here. Cut off right here. So you have a nice stem there because we're going to be pressing that into our pot. And really make sure you're going as tight as you can with your floral tape. Remember that this is made out of wax, so we're just going to pinch that together. At the end, pinch, pinch, pinch. Cut wherever you stopped, or you can actually break it by tearing it. Wrap and pinch, wrap and pinch. Okay, here is one of your stems. Doesn't it look awesome? Okay, I'm going to do that about 3 more times, maybe even 4 if I have enough leaves, and then we're going to set this plant together. So I am wrapping my last little stem. Now remember, this is covered in wax, and wax likes to stick to things if it gets kind of warm. Same thing with our adhesive sheets. Do you see some of these are kind of coming apart? Just really squeeze them back together, and the heat of your hands by now will kind of squeeze everything stuck. Okay, so squeeze those guys together. I also gave you a glue stick just in case something isn't sticking or you've tried everything and it's just not working. All right, and I'm really squeezing the end so there's no sharp wire poking out. And you can tear it, wrap it, and squeeze. At this point, you can kind of look, where do you want to maybe fan out your leaves, poking in all different directions. What will make it look most like a real house plant? Okay, oh, these are so pretty. Nicely done, guys. Now it's time that we can style it in our container. Now when you're putting away your floral tape, make sure that you just wrap it back up and put it right back into that bag I gave you, just so it doesn't get stuck or get wax on anything else. All right, now go get your container. Our container, remember, is filled with rocks, and now you want your tallest, I guess, vine to be first. Should probably go on the back. Poke that in. Now your medium vine. Poke that in to your foam. And remember, this is all wire, so if you want something to look a little curly or bent, that'll make it look even more organic and like a real plant. So I think I want mine kind of curled up. Check if anything needs to be squeezed again. Poke mine in. Oh, it's so adorable. And then, we don't want to be able to see that foam. This is the world's crunkliest bag. Just pour in those white rocks. These are easy to pour in or take away. And then, here we go. These are finished plant. You could do as many stems as you want. You can do twice as many leaves. You could do all different color leaves. You could maybe paint them all different colors. You could use markers if you wanted. But remember, I'm gonna keep adding to my planter, so I wanted it to be a little bit sparse. But you do not have to. You can have as many potted plants as you want. Okay, let's see this in a different light.
All right, so I hope that your workstation is all cleaned up. Maybe you decided to add lines to your leaves. Maybe you decided to make yours all different colors. Maybe your polka dots are huge and awesome. Maybe you didn't even add polka dots. At the Beeble Art Center and at the K-Rec Center, we would love to see what you made. Please email us your finished products. If you do have any questions, however, if you want to just email me at beebleartcenter@gmail.com, feel free with any questions, comments, concerns, or if you want a little bit more paper. I hope you had a really fun time and I can't wait to see what you made. So far, we made this one. We have the next one, next 3, next Thursday. So I hope you had a really fun time and I hope it got really creative. All right. Let's put these right up here. And until next time, keep creating. Bye, guys.